Greetings everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Tafara. Today I'm going to share with you 7 Jamaican herbs that are good for women. This is Jamaica's indigenous plant medicine for women. These are herbs that our ancestors used for general wound care, for after childbirth care, for hormonal balance, and just for general feminine vitality. Whether or not you're on a healing journey, you are a woman with a menstrual cycle, without a menstrual cycle, these herbs are for you. If you have menstrual problems, if you have fertility problems, if you have trauma, womb trauma from a previous toxic relationship, if you have PCOS, fibroids, all of these herbs can assist you on this journey. And to my Jamaican sisters who live here and who have easy access to these plants, know that you are lucky. There's so many women abroad that I know wish they could reach out and get these herbs, right? But there are herbs in their spaces as well. That's the thing about herbs. There is something in your space in North America, in South America. If you're in the Caribbean, you can find these herbs as well. So it's not just my Jamaican sisters. If you're in South America, it's very likely that you will find these herbs as well, because we're closer to the equator. So we have similar herbs. North American herbs are a little bit different. Maybe you can find them in Florida, like South Florida. You can find some of these herbs, but it's mainly in the Caribbean and South America. But there are herbs in North America that are very good for wound healing as well, but that's another video. Again, to my sisters in Jamaica, you are lucky that you have access to these herbs. So please honor this privilege and use these herbs. Honor our ancestral mothers and use these herbs. The first herb that I want to start with is dog blood. And this is a very, very popular herb in Jamaica. It's a popular plant. Everybody knows it as far as womb issues are concerned, especially with blocked fallopian tubes. I wish I knew this before I had surgery or got to the point where I needed surgery to do surgery on my tubes. I didn't know that I had blockage in my tube. If I had known, I would have known that dog blood is a great treatment for that. So, you know, whether or not you have blocked tubes, just as a preventative measure, use this herb to make sure that your tubes are clear, right? Because trust me, having to do surgery from blocked tubes is just not, it's not a great experience. Mostly what we know about dog blood is from traditional use. So it's what we know our ancestors were using for a long time. So it's a traditionally used herb in Jamaica. There aren't many studies done on the plant that can support the traditional use of this herb. But I trust my ancestors, and I also trust the experience of women. I trust the many women who have said that this herb has helped them with fertility issues. There's so many women with stories about dog blood. They've been having issues with getting pregnant. They drink it one time and then get pregnant. Like, so many women have this story. And even myself, I have my own experience with it in terms of my menstrual symptoms. I don't have very bad menstrual symptoms, right? But there are times when I get cranky and I feel like this discomfort, unease in my body, and I'm just like, why do I feel like this, you know? And then I just draw for some dog blood tea, and it's like almost immediately from this to this. That's dog blood. If you are the type of person that has serious menstrual issues, very bad periods, trust me, start drinking dog blood, and start drinking it now. Don't wait until your cycle starts. So it's traditionally known for fibroids, for cysts. Combine it with vervine and shea darling to give it a boost, right? And we're gonna talk about those herbs soon. Also, not safe for pregnant women. Do not drink this tea if you are pregnant, right? Or if you think that you have conceived. Number 2 is vervine. Vervine is another womb healer. Very soothing to the nervous system, very good for inflammation, supports immunity, is a great antioxidant as well, so it helps with dealing with oxidative stress during your period. It helps with digestion. And did I say it's good for menstrual cramps? Very good womb tonic that you can use daily. It has many other benefits as well. As I said, good for your immune system. So not just for the support of the womb. Well, your immunity is support of the womb actually. So yeah, this herb is also not safe for pregnant women. Number 3 is Shea Me Darling or Shea Me Maca, Shea Mo Lady. This herb has a lot of names in Jamaica. It's also known as sensitiva or the sensitive plant. Why? Because when you touch it, it closes up. There are certain herbs that you can, just by observing them, you know their nature, right? And the name says it, sensitiva. You know, you touch it, it's sensitive, so it closes. This tells you that this type of herb is good for your nervous system. I think I've spoken about this before in a previous video on herbs. Nervines, it's a nervine. It can be used as a sedative, so it's extremely soothing, extremely calming. It's used to reduce inflammation, it's used for infertility, it's used for libido and to ease menstrual symptoms. It's also good for UTIs. On a spiritual level, it's used for clearing energy, so it's a very good herb to use to as a bath. You know, after a negative or toxic relationship, you want to do some cleansing. Shea Me Darling is good to use in a bath, right? It's also good for yoni steaming as well. Yoni steaming is very good for helping to clear energy, toxic energy from previous relationships. Number 4 is Leaf of Life. I mean, with a name like Leaf of Life, it's got to be a herb that's good for the womb, right? Because the womb is the source of life. This is where life comes through to this space, right? So this herb has got to be good for the womb. This herb is traditionally used in Jamaica for so many things. It is a very commonly used herb in Jamaica because it is a powerful healer. Good for your immune system, which of course again is really good for women on their menstrual cycle. It's also good for cell regeneration, so this is gonna be good for women who are dealing with womb issues like infertility, blocked tubes, PCOS, fibroids. Leaf of Life is your friend. It's also good for after birth care, very good for pain and for strengthening the womb. So this is also a herb that you can do vaginal steaming with. Studies have shown that it can inhibit the growth of HPV and cervical cancer cells, right? This is vital to womb wellness, right? Something that we don't talk about often enough. And I know there are women out there who are silently suffering from HPV and cervical cancer, right? Leaf of Life is your friend again. You can have it in its raw form, you can chew it. My Kingman was the first one that told me that Leaf of Life was good for the womb. In his treatment of women with womb issues, Leaf of Life was always one of the herbs that he turned to, right? And he would make a poultice out of it, so he would beat it in the mortar and give it to you in a raw form. So but you can also eat it. You know, I like to eat it with like it almost has a taste of green June plum, so I like to dip it in salt water, sprinkle salt on it and eat it. But it's also very good for juicing, so you want to add it to your green juices, great. If you want to have it as a tea, great. Marigold is a flower. By the way, all of these herbs that I mentioned are wild growing plants, So marigold is something that you will see if you go to the countryside. You will see it a lot, particularly in Portland. I've seen lots of marigold in Portland. It's the place that I've seen it the most, right? But it grows on the ground, and it like covers the area like almost like a carpet. It has this really beautiful yellow flower. This is Jamaican marigold, so it's a little bit different from the marigold that is the North American marigold. It's very good for womb issues, very good for menstrual pain, very good for cleansing the womb after birth as well. It's great for liver health, it's great for gut health, and a healthy gut means healthy hormones, right? So that's got to be good for your womb. It's also good for yoni steaming. Also good for cleansing energy, right? So this is another womb that you can this is another womb. This is another herb that you can use to cleanse and clear the womb after toxic relationships. Not only toxic relationships, you know, women have been raped. Women have experienced molestation as children. Um, so there's so many things that we experience within our wombs that the energy is still stored there, and so we have to clear it. We have to clear it out in order to bring back balance mentally, physically, everything, because our womb is our center. If it is out of balance, everything is out of balance. Number 6 is Jamaican dandelion. Not to be confused with the North American dandelion, which is great. Jamaican dandelion is just as good as that. Very good support of the womb. This herb is also in my womb tea, so it's a great liver tonic, right? Great detoxifier. Great for hormonal balancing. Great for iron deficiency, right? Very, very high in iron. This herb, the Jamaican dandelion, right? It's very good for women who are experiencing weakness, you know, from maybe losing too much blood. You know, if you're anemic, the Jamaican dandelion is good for you. If you have any type of liver issues, this herb is for you. Also, girls wild. I don't know why I need to say that, because all of the herbs that I'm mentioning here are wild herbs. Number 7 is ramgoat dashalang. Some people call it horny goat weed, but this is the Jamaican damiana for the same reasons that damiana is a good aphrodisiac, good for sexual energy, good for hormonal balance, good for menstrual cramps, good for afterbirth care as well, for reconnecting with your body, reconnecting with your sensuality. So it's a very good herb also for steaming. Very good herb for steaming after childbirth. Very good herb for steaming in general if you have a low libido. Alright, so those are the 7 herbs. But hey, I have some bonus herbs, because there are so many other herbs that I find beneficial for the womb. So I'm not gonna go in depth on these, but I'll just make a mention. And the first one is the African tulip. This is also known as donkey peepee in Jamaica. I think I've spoken about donkey peepee already, and how beautiful it is when you see it out in nature. This bright red color. It's very good for eye health, right? But it's also good for inflammation in the womb, good for cleansing the womb as well. The next one is pepper elder. Pepper elder is good for inflammation, good for anxiety, and for menstrual cramps. Sarsaparilla is another powerhouse herb, very good for iron deficiency. Spanish needle is also good for inflammation, good for iron, very good for UTIs as well. Pimento is very good for inflammation. Pimento is a great antioxidant, very good for menstrual cramps, very good for pain, very good for breast health as well. Pimento oil is definitely going to be in that balm that I'm working on, which is gonna be a multi-use balm that you can use for breast massage, you can use for menstrual cramps, you can use for joint pain. You can use it for many different things, and definitely pimento is going to be a part of that. Along with castor oil, those two is not just good for the scalp. It's not just good for scalp health. It's good for so many other things, and definitely for soothing menstrual cramps. Passion flower is another one that I believe I mentioned in the video that I did on nervines, because it's very soothing, very calming, very good for stress, very good support for women who are going through menopause, right? And menopause deserves a video as well. In fact, I think it's a conversation that deserves a panel discussion, because it's not something for one woman to talk about. I think it's something that many women need to have a conversation about, an open and honest conversation. So these herbs aren't just plants, you know, they're ancient teachers that are here on this land to support us, to support our women. And so we must always remember, when we're using herbs, to use it respectfully, appreciate and give thanks for the herbs, and set your intentions. Set your intentions when you're using. Always set your intentions. I think we don't talk enough about intention setting, how important it is in everything that you do to set intentions, right? So even when you're about to drink a cup of tea, set some intentions. What do you want to gain from this herb, from using this herb? It's a very important thing in your relationships with herbs and how they will heal your body, right? Is you have to have a relationship with them. Also, don't expect that the herbs are gonna just work on their own. Holistic healing is something that I always promote, so that includes adjusting your lifestyle, you know, living a stress-free life, eating right, eliminating toxins, which is gonna come up again in another video. We're gonna talk about our toxic load, especially us women, from our beauty products. All of that adds to your balance and balance in your womb. So the herbs are just here to assist you. They're allies. They're here to assist you on the journey, but you can't make them do all of the work. If you are on any medications, talk to your doctor first, and also talk to a herbalist. A naturopathic doctor can help you also. If you are outside of Jamaica and you want access to these herbs, just let me know. I don't stock them, but if you really need the help, just reach out to me and I will see how I can assist you. You can email me, tifara@tropicanaturals.com, right? And we'll work something out. If you're local, you really should not be reaching out to me for help. You should be trying to go and get. I am sharing with you knowledge. You should really receive it and go out there and find these herbs on your own. You should need me to do that for you when you live right where them grow. Even having an awareness of what these herbs look like will help you, because you'll be in a space and you can identify the herbs right away and you can reap it yourself, so you don't have to go and ask somebody to go and get it for you, right? So just having a knowledge of the herb is good. Take a walk and go look and see what herbs are in your space, right? Go to the market, like Coronation Market, always have a whole heap of herbalists in there. Whole heap of herbalists, not one, not two, whole heap of herbalists in a Coronation Market. Any market in Jamaica you can find herbalists, right? So, you know, check your local herbalist or so. But if you still want my help, I am here. Reach out. So that's it for this video. Let me know in the comment section if you tried any of these herbs and how they have helped you on your journey. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section and I will try to assist you as best as I can. Don't forget to subscribe, like, right? Share this video, especially with another sister who you know needs to hear this. I mean, all women need to know this information. All women need to know that herbs are our allies and the ones that we can turn to when we are having issues in our wombs, issues emotionally, issues spiritually. We can always turn to these herbs. But that's it for this video, guys. Take care of yourself and we will link up in the next one. All right, later.